Oh, wow. I wish I knew why. This is the second time it's happened in a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I don't remember how long it was before I went to London. But this computer will randomly just like black screen and shut down. And I don't know why. It happened again yesterday. Kind of weird. Blue screen or black screen? Black, like it just black screens. I don't know. What is Vibecraft and why is your logo next to your Twitter name? I don't know. They invited me to their business on Twitter and I was like, sure, I want the cute picture. So why not? Download hardware info and check your temps. I actually have hardware info, but I don't think your computer will ever shut off generally due to temperature. Or if it does, something has gone very wrong because nowadays everything is so advanced and smart that like it'll start underclocking and throttling itself like crazy before you ever hit like an emergency shutdown. Don't you have a new power guzzling graphics card? On this computer I do, but I have two computers, remember? So this computer does, but my streaming computer is the same as it's always been. Well, I did a reformat because I'm trying to get off these fucking Windows accounts everywhere. I need to do one on this computer next. And this has only happened after the reformat, so I wonder if the Windows thing that I used to install it is borked somehow. There's like Chris Titer or whatever has like a link to a Windows ISO you can make that I think is like a de-bloated non-Microsoft account version of Windows that you can install. And I wonder if there's just something that doesn't play well on that. I don't know. Did you see Dr. K commenting on Collargate? Yeah, we watched some of it yesterday. Why don't you use Linux? I don't think I want to go through all the compatibility bullshit, and I don't see much upside for me. I thought Taff wasn't retarded. What the fuck? Taff is she's kind of conservative-ish, but I don't know how retarded that counts. This tweet here, so Hassan probably didn't shock his dog, right? Is there actual evidence or is he just hated? I would consider this like an intelligent person's opinion. Like when I say, people need to understand this is hard to understand. When smart people navigate the world with somewhat reliable heuristics and then they think that they're above gathering data and they start overfitting everything into their predictive models, it's like, I think it's a total explainer for people like Asmongold, partially for people like XQC. If I knew nothing about what was going on the internet and I read that like Hassan shocked his dog, this would be my assumption. I seriously doubt he shocked his dog. People probably just being unhinged. So I understand why she's tweeting it. To be fair, she's asking the question. I don't think, but like if she was presented with the information, I don't think that she would, deny it. Like she's a right-leaning person. If anything, she hates Hassan more than anything else. So, why are you allowed to retract messages in my YouTube chat? Somebody asked a question and then you retracted it. I saw that. Aditya Nedgir Ayan, whatever the fuck that name is. Jesus. I see this all the time in science. Really smart scientists can sometimes make really bad conclusions because they're going off of their gut from incomplete data sets instead of gathering more data. Yeah, I think I definitely found out over the COVID time period, especially when it came to that frontline COVID care. What is that? I always forget the third C. It's like FLCCC. What did this stand for? There were a lot of doctors that were involved in this. Oh, the Critical Care Alliance, COVID-19 Critical Care Alliance. And especially in listening to them talk about things, I realized that like doctors could fall into the same thing. And arguably, these are our most educated people in general. In the United States, physicians are our highest educated class of people. And to see them fall into some of the same traps, it's like, damn, I guess. No level of education protects you from that. Why are so many commenting being eliminated? I become an anti-Semite. Now they're trolling me. Now they're just trolling me.
I can't stand any of you dumb fucks in this goddamn chat. Oh my fucking god, I hate the left. I hate liberalism. I hate everything that's going on every single day of the week. I hate my life, I hate streaming, I hate socialism, I hate everyone who thinks that activism is being the most annoying, holier than thou, and ultimately woke leftist. You did it, you have unlocked nihilism within me. Nothing will ever get better, we are never gonna make out still goddamn conversation on any of these issues. Everybody just simply wants to fucking chirp into the wind because they have no power and they recognize their utter powerlessness in the face of unjustifiable constructs that we fucking exist under. And the best possible fucking thing you can do is be goddamn annoying, okay? Oh God. Right when
My favorite thing about AI is that once we're like past this adoption phase, every single time a new thing comes out, you guys will be able to go back to critically evaluating it instead of just saying AI slop on every single thing you hear because you think it might be AI. Thanks for saving me from the depths of extremism and all the content over the past few years. You're welcome, me clown. Why does my taskbar keep going light mode? Stop. Display. No. Back. Personalization. Select theme. This one. Okay. Don't change now. New Republican registrations are much higher than Democrats, unlike in 2018. Seeing a lot of polls for over the past couple months showing generic ballot leads for Democrats around 1 to 4 points. For context, here's how much Democrats led around the same time in 2017. Any of the reasons why Democrats are leading the... What does GCB stand for? Global Cuck Bench. By less at the moment. Generic congressional ballot. Oh. Like it just changed. Why? Look, why did it go back? Windows 11 taskbar keeps going light mode. Due to a third-party app conflict. Yo, I've been saving this clip for you all day. Just 2 minutes of pure Gary Stevenson gold. What clip? You didn't even link anything, dipshit. Yeah, I think Power Toys is doing something, but I don't know what. Personalization color dark mode? Yeah, I've already done that. It's in dark mode. That's a dark mode theme. I wonder if it's the transparency effects. Wait, change your mode. Choose your mode, light mode. Stop. Okay, we'll see if this stops it. Power Toys light switch feature. Oh, they just added that. True, but I didn't turn it on. Fuck, how do you see all the... Oh my god, they changed this program so much. Oh my god, I'm retarded. Nope. Wait. Ah, it did it again! Light switch. No. Stop. It's this. You're right. Thank you. Good catch. Okay. I'm always here for some Gary Stevenson cringe.
I live in East London, and there's a famous mural down the street from here called Cable Street Mural, which is it's a mural from I guess it was maybe the 30s, back when like serious fascism was on the rise.
How the fuck did you know this was a new feature if you didn't turn it on? Do you read the patch notes? Yep. Because when I got home from London, there was an update for it, and then I saw on the thing, it was like, exciting new thing, requested feature, light switch. And I'm like, who the fuck, what is this? And then I Googled it, and it was like, who cares about this? But then I remembered that.
Rise, and Nazism was on the rise in Europe. And there was a big like fascist Nazi movement here in London and in the UK. And there was a march, the fascist march in London. And the locals in East London came out and they didn't accept it. There was a massive fight. There's a big mural down the street.
Is this going to be about actual fascism and fascists, or is this somehow going to turn into a critique of all liberals being the same as fascists?
Which is nice. If you're ever in London, go check it out. And I go there, I cycle past it all the time, and quite often I will stop and just have a little look. And I stopped there the other day, and I was standing by this mural, and I was looking at this mural. And just as I was thinking, the sun was going down, painting the scene.
Or rich people.
And just as I was looking at it, I saw that somebody had put a sticker right on the railing at the bottom, right in the middle. A big tax world not work sticker.
A big what?
Big tax world not work sticker.
Oh. Oh my God, stop. No, he's not about to start crying. Please don't. No, he's not going to happen. He's not going to do it. Oh my God, no, stop. Please don't. He's not.
A big tax world not work sticker.
Wait, random question. Do you know what the word zesty means? Perchance gauging your unbanned brain? Oh, my urban brain? Zesty? Pretty sure it means gay, because every time I would go on any Red Pill show, they would all call me Zestiny or Zesty.
In the middle. A big tax world not work sticker.
Oh my God.
And when I see stuff like that, it makes me think that all the hard work is worth it. So that's it, I've got to go. I'll be already in Italy by the time this comes out. We've got a lot going on. Some stuff I'm not allowed to speak about yet because it's not public.
Who's behind this guy? You know this guy's like not organic, right? Like somebody set all the camera stuff. Like this guy's shooting at 2 angles, right? For what do you call?
I live in East London, like.
Fuck, there's a fucking techie name for this, or there's an AV name for this. Is it coverage? You shoot for coverage? I don't know if I'm using that correctly here. But sometimes when you're doing interviews, you'll shoot 2 different angles so you can cut between the 2 for like drama or whatever.
I always feel guilty going on holiday because I feel like
there's no ordinary person with no AV background, with no influencer background, no whatever, that would even think to set up, you know, like second angles and stuff like this. Also, he's using obviously a professional camera, professional cameras and everything. This guy is so inorganic. He's so pushed. I'm so curious who's behind this dude. Whatever.
Yeah, I've got to go.
Don't link me shit like this. Stop. It's too early to cringe. Okay. Too early to cringe. BPD girl clip of the week.
Lisa's texting you, not me.
Is Synergy 3 still worse than 2? No, I think I used 3 and it's based. Based?
I don't know what you want from me.
Got him. Got him. Damn, young Sneeko.
I know.
Brutal.
Can you pull over into there?
We've already watched this? Wait, have we already watched this? Yes, it's old. Have I watched this? You are old. Has this happened to you? My girlfriend in high school used to think it was cute to just grab the steering wheel when we needed to turn somewhere. But it wasn't like it wasn't like due to fighting. It was just, but I mean, we were 16, 17. It was just retarded. That's how Dr. K remains pure with women.
Fox News alert.
Sorry, not that one.
Yeah. And that's where, like, it in my case, like, I shut that shit down, like, right away.
If a woman is touching you,
Really interesting to sit with those people and talk to them about, like, the women in those relationships and what they get afraid of, like what it is that really
if they see
bothers them.
another woman who's
Am I face blind? Is this Chris? Did he get a Zoomer haircut? This isn't how he used to look, right? Oh, and the beard. Okay.
You know, and this is what I
Holy
love
shit.
about the work that I do. I'll talk to women.
Whoa!
And so there's a very fierce protectiveness.
I got charged by an elephant in Zambia a couple of years ago while I was in a canoe 100 yards away from her kids, and we got charged by an elephant.
Yeah, so here's the interesting thing. When a male elephant charges you, they're trying to get you to back off. Right? So it's really interesting because even if I've been charged by an elephant too. And if you
That's like
speed
a
up
rite of passage for an Indian.
if you speed up the rate at which you're moving away from the elephant will chase. But if you slow down, the elephant will slow down. The male will slow down. Right? So I mean, that was just an interesting, that happened to me once.
Yeah.
But
It's only happened to me once as well.
and so I think, like, you know, these the bro science, I love the bro science. Like, don't get me wrong, like,
What a beautiful multicultural diversity moment. You got an English dude and was Dr. K born in India or was he born in the United States? Of Indian background, both of these guys in the United States of America talking about being in Africa, being charged by elephants. Look at how cute. What a cute diversity moment. Yeah, this is what I'm used to Chris looking like. I feel like he looks way better here. I hate the, I didn't realize how popular that Zoomer cut was, like a real Zoomer cut, until I saw Nathan with it. And I was like, wait, you look like every other kid. And I'm like, oh shit, all of you guys. Did he say in Africa? Didn't they say in Namibia or whatever? I feel like that Zoomer cut, but I'm also like older, so maybe it's supposed to look horrible to me. I'm sure younger or Gen X and boomers thought that our hair looked horrible when we were kids. The broccoli cut, yeah.
I can share that paper on Drive for Muscularity with you and things like that.
Yeah.
But I think this is where, like, we've got to be careful and we've got to, like, literally, like, you know, and this is what I love about the work that I do. I'll talk to women. So when someone shows up, right, and is like touching your husband, like touching him on the arm, touching him on the neck, like, what is your reaction? Like, what bothers you about it? What are you afraid of, right? So I literally have, you know, some patients who are very, very successful and very, very wealthy. And, you know, sometimes what happens when you are very successful and very wealthy is that people will be attracted to you, right? In all kinds of ways, for professional reasons, sexual reasons, personal reasons. We're talking like yachts and trips and the whole 9 yards. And it's really interesting to sit with those people and talk to them about, like, the women in those relationships and what they get afraid of, like what it is that really.
If they see another woman who's like, oh, you're so
right?
silly.
Yeah. And that's where, like, in my case, like, I shut that shit down, like, right away.
If a woman is touching you,
Absolutely.
like, like, that's not okay.
I don't say that.
What do you say?
Um,
Obviously, I'm inundated with women touching me all the time.
So yeah, so What I find works really well is a reflexive disgust followed by trying to suppress it. So,
Oh, it's a performative.
oh, 100%.
Oh, this is so sick.
Right? So she touches me I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. And she will never do it again.
True.
Oh, you're violating my boundaries. That doesn't make me feel uncomfortable. It's
Yeah.
like the chase is on, bitch.
Yeah.
Right?
Watch me fucking violate you.
Yeah, what, like you know,
Oh, disgusting. Great one.
it's so good, dude. Like, shuts that shit down.
Let me give you this. This is
He's so fuck. Dr. K has got the third eye for people skills. I don't know where it comes from or how he got it, but it's oh my god.
This works for anybody. This is a real niche fucking piece of advice. If you are a club promoter working on the front door of a nightclub, a lot of the time you are stood between a couple of big hairy gorillas who can, like, you know, suck anybody who's being too much of a dick. But you may have had to make some sort of difficult decision at some point. This person isn't coming in. They are the ex-boyfriend of a girl who works for the club. They have just caused a bit of bother downstairs. It's so short. Like, they feel aggrieved that they're not getting in or they've just been kicked out. And you've had to tell them. You're not necessarily the one that's enforcing
Did you watch him talk to Alex O'Connor? I didn't because it was like a 4-hour talk. But
it. But you've had to tell them and you have to stand there. And they know that you have to stand there on the front door of the club. And you can fuck off inside, but usually you've got to do some work. One of the problems is what they want is engagement. They want you to say to them, like, you're not coming in. Well, yeah, I am. And he's like, well, no, these two gorillas are going to stop you. It's like, well, you're a fucking dickhead. I shouldn't have been kicked out. That girl down there's the bitch in any case. I didn't really do it. And this has gone on. I've stood in the front door and watched this happen for hours in the northeast of the UK cold in November, right? Like, this is like the endurance racing of fucking complaining, right? And these people are drunk. So they will not remember it tomorrow, but you will.
Yeah.
So anyway, and what they want is this, they want engagement, maybe they want a physical altercation, they want righteous retribution, they want to feel heard, they want to do all of these things. And I tried for, you know, a decade and a half long career to try and find what that is. What's the cut through the video game cheat code to like, sorry.
Yeah,
Like,
the apology works wonders too.
yeah,
Now everyone knows my secret.
yeah, that's true. This completely shuts it down. If somebody's getting in your face and they keep on shouting, the most infuriating and shut down thing that you can say is, mate, sorry, can you step back? Your breath stinks. I need a little bit of room, because it is unfalsifiable. It is a comment on their person, like their level of personal hygiene. Nobody else around it. It immediately gets a ton of laughs. That person usually gets way more irate, and within 5 minutes it's gone, because they don't want to be known as the person who's got bad breath that keeps on shouting in people's faces.
Yeah, so I think there's something about, you know, boundaries and stuff that when people are like a touch sociopathic or when they're hungry, like, they don't care.
Mhm.
You know, that's a sign of weakness. That means that you're trying to defend yourself, and that means that I got under your skin.
If you're ever worried about like people that are in your face at events and shit, like the easiest thing to do is there's McDonald's like all over the country. It's super easy to just dip into any fast food place, grab like a packet of ketchup. If there's something that's really fucking annoying you, you pop that shit, put a little bit in your mouth, and you kind of like cough in their direction, get a few red drops on them and say, oh my God, I'm so sorry. That's my AIDS acting up. I hope I didn't get any in your mouth. Works every time. Is this abuse? Somebody asked. This fucking kid can't live without his iPad. Oh no. Oh.
Thank you.
Is this abuse? If it's a parent, maybe. If it's an older sibling, justified. If it's a step parent and then they deny it later to the actual parent, even better. Oh, fuck. We've already watched this a few times. I don't want to talk about it much because I'm kind of embarrassed about it. Yeah, what can I say, guys? I'm a morally unscrupulous person.
You know, when I was on with Moeen and we debated Professor Benny Morris and something called Destiny, and it later came out, I have a friend, I can't name him, who by sheer coincidence had a very intimate connection, personal connection with that thing called Destiny. And he said, this is what he told me. And after the show, I could send you the email because we have recent correspondence about it. When the whole issue came up of Bill Ackman, the Jewish supremacist billionaire who met all these influencers in the Hamptons. And he wrote to me, this friend, he said, Destiny was coached for about 6 months and he was paid, quote, he was paid handsomely by a Israeli advocacy organization. Whether Lex Fridman was in it as well, I am not certain.
is my guy.
Whoa, hey, sir, step back. Let him go.
I just
Wait, sorry.
Adelita. When are you going to swear in Representative-elect Adelita Grijalva?
As soon as we get back to legislative session, when Chuck Schumer allows us to turn the lights back on.
Why haven't you done it already?
Because this is the way the institution works. I'm following the Pelosi precedent, by the way, when my dear friend...
Remember, one thing I think I want to do, because I'm trying to figure out, like, what is some meaningful political thing that because everything feels so pointless right now. Something that I think would be worthwhile is writing out, like, here's like the 4 or 5 steps for how conservatives do propaganda. And then just to kind of like map that model onto because you can map it onto literally every single current event. So like objectively bad thing happens. You can even do sub 1, like point 1, sub point 1. It's a thing that they've probably criticized Democrats exactly for in the past. Then point 2 is you have some kind of absurd excuse or denial. Point 3 is every single person in the media sphere on your side echoes that absurd denial. And then point 4 will be claim that Democrats have done the same thing but worse in the past, even if they haven't. And then that's it. And then you just do this through every single media cycle. It's just so tiring to listen to it work over and over again.
In Louisiana, Julia Letlow was elected to fill the seat of her deceased husband because of COVID.
I wrote one out for Hassan a while ago, I think 2 weeks ago, over the dog collar stuff, because Hassan tries to do the same thing, but they don't have the same level of coordination in the tanky sphere as the MAGA people do.
Nancy Pelosi took 25 days to swear her in. By the way,
are you saying...
husband, because this is the way the institution works. I'm following the Pelosi precedent, by the way, when my dear friend from Louisiana, Julia Letlow, was elected to fill the seat of her deceased husband because of COVID.
I'm so curious. Julia Letlow, Pelosi, swearing. He said COVID. I wonder if they were actually like out of session, like legitimately because of COVID or whatever. Or what happened with this? Wait, this is not. The interviewer addresses it. Speaking with reporters on Tuesday, Johnson recalled that Representative Julia Letlow, this is probably talking about the same interview we're watching now.
Nancy Pelosi took 25 days to swear her in. By the way,
are you saying? Let me stop you. Are you saying that Nancy Pelosi refused to swear her in earlier?
No, I'm saying that's my very point. Is this is the normal
my
process.
understanding is that was the date that actually the representative-elect Letlow at the time requested.
Why can't this just be everybody all the time? Thank you. Who is this guy? Thank you. Thank you for fact-checking and being a real human being, journalist, news anchor, whatever the pundit, whatever the fuck you are. Thank you. Okay? Thank you. Jonathan Karl. Somebody said? Thank you. Is that his name?
No, she had obviously her.
Okay, here's some more examples. Okay.
No, but wait a minute. You mentioned the Pelosi precedent, but Pelosi didn't delay that.
Let me give you more of the Pelosi precedent. Okay.
And what about the Johnson precedent? Because you swore in 2 Republicans the day after their election.
I'm happy to answer. Pelosi precedent: Pat Ryan, Joe Simpolinski. They were elected during an August recess. So 21 days later, when the House returned to regular legislative session,
I could practice it, but these guys are so good. I'm so bad. I hate that people claim that, like, oh, I'm just a debater. I'm good rhetorically or whatever. Because I have a huge rhetorical weakness. That it is a rhetorical weakness. Factually, I think it's good. But like generally, I'll follow somebody wherever they want to go in an argument because I'm very confident in my argument. So if I'm arguing about something and you want to bring another point, well then fine, we'll fucking chase it down wherever you want to go. But rhetorically, it's very weak because I don't hold people enough to acknowledge argument losses. Like, you've lost on this point. Can you acknowledge this? I've gotten better at it. And then I'll have issues with getting led to irrelevant spots and not forcing a win because we don't even get far enough down the argument chain. These guys do this so easily. Like they breathe. They're so good at totally ignoring whatever the fuck is just said and just launching into their memorized talking points. It's insane to me.
Pelosi precedent: Pat Ryan, Joe.
Right? So like, he just brought up, so this guy, so there's a representative that my understanding, only reading headlines, like I haven't dived into this because I don't give that much of a fuck. But my understanding is they need to seat one more representative in the House, and that this one representative would give them the votes needed to release the Epstein files, whatever the fuck that means. And Johnson is obviously delaying this as much as possible, probably because Trump is named. I don't think in any incriminating way, but just in ways that would cause him PR problems. And so Johnson is refusing to seat this person in the House. He's refusing to do his fucking job. Okay, as the leader of the House, as the Speaker of the House, he's refusing to do his fucking job to have our elected representative sat in fucking Congress, okay, because of how she'll vote on that. And now he's trying to say, well, Pelosi did the same thing. No. When that other lady won her special election, she requested a seat date, and Pelosi agreed to it. Pelosi wasn't arbitrarily pushing it back or arbitrarily stopping anything or trying to prevent something from happening.
Johnson precedent, because you swore in 2 Republicans the day after their election.
I'm happy to.
Oh my God, and this guy has so many good facts. Thank you.
No, but wait a minute. You mentioned the Pelosi precedent, but Pelosi didn't delay that.
Let me give you more than Pelosi precedent, okay?
And what about the Johnson precedent? Because you swore in 2 Republicans the day after their election.
I'm happy to answer. Pelosi precedent. Pat Ryan, Joe Simplinsky. They were elected during an August recess. So 21 days later, when the House returned to regular legislative session, they were administered the oath. That's what we're doing. We're not in session right now. Rep. Grijalva was elected after the House was out of session. As soon as we return to legislative session, as soon as the Democrats decide to turn the lights back on so we can all get back here, I will administer the oath on the first day.
You could swear her in tomorrow, right? I mean,
no, not tomorrow. No, we couldn't. We wouldn't. There was an exception.
Well, those are 2 different words. Right? You remember, anybody have teachers where you ask, can I go to the bathroom? And the teacher's like, yeah. And then you go to leave and they're like, where are you going? And they're like, oh, I'm going to go to the bathroom. It's like, I didn't say you could go. And they're like, oh, may I go to the bathroom? Yes, you may. You ever have teachers like that? Could you and would you are 2 very different things. One implies that you can't. The other implies that you won't. That's what those words mean.
Tomorrow, right? I mean,
no, not tomorrow. No, we couldn't. We wouldn't. There was an exception for 2 Floridians earlier in this Congress, but the reason was they were duly elected. They had a date set.
They were duly elected? Wait, and she wasn't? In Arizona, she didn't request a date? She doesn't want to be seated?
Flew in all their friends and family.
They flew in? Oh! They flew in their friends and family. Oh, my bad. Is that what we need? Do we need to fly in her friends? Is that part of the procedure? I don't know a lot of the House rules, the ordinary rules or whatever, or the Senate rules. I know this is the House. But is that one of the things in the House? Like, to be seated, you must, via American Airlines, fly in at least 2 family members and 3 friends to be seated in the next set. Is that a thing?
And the House went out of session.
So if she flies in friends and family, then
we don't have a date.
Thank you. Thank you for asking. What a stupid point.
Flies in friends and family, then
we don't have a date set. She was elected after.
Okay. Let me ask you about the president.
The only thing he needs now is from Caitlin Collins. She's really good at stating the point before she asks her next question. So he should have said at the end here.
Out of session.
So there is no reason not to seat her tomorrow. Thank you. And then ask the next question. But otherwise, A+.
The president has the right under the Constitution for pardon and commutation.
About the president's pardon of George Santos, what do you make of that?
The president has the right under the Constitution for pardon and commutation, of course.
I wonder what changed. I actually asked George in person because I think I was the last episode they did before he was supposed to go to prison. And I asked him, I was like, have you thought about trying to hit up Trump or like take the Mar-a-Lago flight to go and see, if he'll pardon you or whatever? And I think at the time he told me that he just wasn't considering it or that he didn't feel like there was anything in the works there or that like he didn't have any leverage for Trump. I don't know if he said that last thing. I don't remember 100%. Don't quote me on that. If any media is listening, don't quote me on that. I do remember him saying that like it wasn't part of his plan or he wasn't thinking about anything like that at the time. But maybe I was the one who suggested because there's no point because he has no leverage. But
of course, we believe in redemption. This is a personal belief of mine, and I hope Mr. Santos makes the most of his second chance. I mean,
but how about the fact that the president, in issuing the pardon,
have you accepted that we can't really call the USA a democratic republic anymore? This is just one of the many things that remove the designation in other nations, or is American exceptionalism, LOL? I've never thought about that before, but I would accept that 100%. Yeah, at this moment in time, we are absolutely not a functioning democratic republic. Of course not. Our Congress is intentionally feckless. They have given up all of their power to the dictator via the House Republicans. like they're okay just shutting the government down. They don't give a fuck. And then Trump is ruling everything as a king via executive fiat. I don't even like saying as a king, and I really need to study more. I learned this when I was, because that one lawyer guy that was arguing with me talked about America as like a common law system. I didn't really understand common law versus, there's another distinction. It's common law versus, there's a name for it, like statutes or whatever. And America kind of has like a hybrid E system. But when I was looking in the past, I didn't realize how much, is it civil law? Canon law? It might be canon law versus common law, maybe. Is the Magna Carta the thing that was like nobody's above the law or whatever? Yeah. The people have this impression that basically until like 20 years ago in England, the king was like the supreme authority that could literally do everything. But that's not really true. Even the king was somewhat constrained by the parliament, and by the it's a monarchical republic. Is that what they called it? As opposed to, we have like a democratic republic. But he was, the king had constraints on his power. I don't, it is so unbelievable to me that Ryan Mole, whatever the guy is on Twitter, I blocked him from Discord, I can't, he triggers me too much, would defend the idea that the US president is above criminal law. That is the thing I will never get over. I cannot believe that so many people defended that ruling. That's just so unreal to me. Oh, is it constitutional monarchy? Is that what it was called? I think that might be it, because I think republic means not a monarchy. It's like the opposite, right? You can't have like a monarchical republic. This might be like opposed words. I think republic literally might just mean like not a monarchy, or it's like not like centralized power or something. You have elected. I don't know if the representatives have to be elected. Like, I think you could have a republic where the people aren't, like, they could be nobles or something, maybe, but more often than not, it's probably the case that in a republic, most of them are elected. But republic means of the public. Why isn't it called de public then? Got him. Yo, dork. We finished installing those shocks on the truck and bled the brakes. It is so ready for winter. Thank you, Laina May. Me and Sage are going to be snow running. Is this person schizo posting my YouTube chat? I'm hoping he times you. Oh, they're arguing with a person called Sage. Oh, okay. They're just having a chat. Okay, never mind. Carry on. My bad.
Of course, we believe in redemption. This is a personal belief of mine, and I hope Mr. Santos.
Okay, sorry.
About the president's pardon of George Santos. What do you make of that?
The president has the right under the Constitution for pardon and commutation, of course.
Remember that dichotomy. When they're talking about the Democrats need to do what's morally right. When they're talking about the Republicans, it's just what are they legally allowed to do. Tim Pool, everybody does this. Do you think it's okay for Trump to sue private entities for making fun of him? Well, he has the right to do that. Do you think Biden should be? That's wrong.
We believe in redemption. This is a personal belief of mine, and I hope Mr. Santos makes the most of his second chance. I mean,
but how about the fact that the president, in issuing the pardon, or it's clemency, I'm sorry, the clemency, he said...
Is there a difference between clemency and pardon? I feel like I hear these two words. I think I looked this up before. I don't know if there's an actual difference or not.
At least Santos had the courage, conviction, and intelligence to always vote Republican. I looked through this. There have now, I think we have a list of them, 10 former Republican members of Congress who the president has either pardoned or issued clemency for. 10.
Okay, you want to talk about what Joe Biden did with that power?
No, I
he
want to
pardoned
talk
his own
about
family. The only thing he signed, by the way, with his own pen, everything else is auto pen.
Yeah, but
categories of hardened criminals that they just released from prison. At least President.
I don't remember the details of this, but this is a lie. This had to do with the broad pardon that Biden did. Had something to do with like time served during code. It was like a COVID thing that like basically nobody was being actually like pardoned or released early or whatever. This is like not true the way this is being phrased.
Biden did with that power?
No,
he
I want to
pardoned
talk
his own
about what...
family. The only thing he signed, by the way, with his own pen, everything else is auto pen.
Yeah, but
categories of hardened criminals that they just released from prison. At least President Trump is fully transparent. He goes out and explains his
is it okay
rationale
for
to
him
the
to say
American
that
people.
essentially I'm pardoning
Wait, what did Trump say about pardoning Santos?
somebody because they always had the courage,
That's not the reason he pardoned.
conviction, and intelligence to always vote Republican?
That's one snippet of what he said among many things about George Santos.
But should that
and
be a
others.
factor in pardoning somebody that they
No,
voted
and I don't
Republican?
I don't
think it was a factor. He just said it because he's retarded. LOL.
it was.
Clemency?
No, I don't think it was. I just think he's talking about this individual and his past, and at least he's
Like, I don't know how many other ways that you can say this, okay? You retarded fucking Americans, you worthless fucking idiots. When somebody's telling you this, okay, George Santos was somewhat of a rogue, but there are many rogues throughout our country that aren't forced to serve 7 years in prison. I started to think about George when the subject of Democrat Senator Richard Don Nang Dick Blumenthal, what, I don't even know what the fuck this is a reference to, came up again. As everyone remembers, Da Nang, is he like a fake Vietnamese, or is he making fun of her for being Vietnamese, or for being in Vietnam? I don't even know. For serving in Vietnam, stated for almost 20 years he was a proud Vietnam veteran, having endured the worst of the war, watching the wounded and dead as he raced to the hills, blah, 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 and he was a great hero. He would leak to anyone who would listen, and then it happened. He was a complete total fraud. He never went to Vietnam. He never saw Vietnam. He never experienced the battles there. His war hero status and even minimal service in our military was totally completely made up. This is far worse than what George Santos did, and at least Santos had the courage, conviction, and intelligence to always vote Republican. Donald Trump has told people to commit violence for him, said that he would pay people's legal fees if they beat people up at his rallies, has constantly made allusions or references to people shooting or Second Amendment people or, 9 rifles for Liz Cheney, Second Amendment people for Hillary Clinton, has constantly talked about locking his political opponents up, has played favorites politically over and over and over again. It literally cannot get any more blatant than this. I don't know what the fuck. He's now doing political prosecutions of all of his old enemies. Jesus. Didn't Kamala kind of do that for the BLM guys go? I can't tell. There's a troll message. One guy, a good one. You got me. You did get me. Yeah, how old is this scandal? Richard Blumenthal. Vietnam. Received 5 draft affirmants during the Vietnam War. At first, he received education. Absolute monarchy is the only monarch that matters. What's the point of being the king if you can't do king shit? True. New York Times reported that Blumenthal misspoke on at least one occasion by saying he'd served with the military in Vietnam. Video emerged of him speaking to a group of veterans and supporters in March 2008 in Norwalk, saying, in reference to supporting troops returning from Iraq and Afghanistan, "We have learned something important since the days that I served in Vietnam." There were also other occasions where he accurately described his military service. At a 2008 ceremony in Shelton, Connecticut, he said, "I served during the Vietnam era. I remember the taunts, the insults, and sometimes even physical abuse." Okay, so it sounds like... Okay, so not like as crazy as what Trump is trying to make this sound like, where he's like saying he's like a fucking war hero or something. Or did he? Maybe there's something worse that's not in the wiki. He was a, quote, a great hero, end quote. Who said this? What, is this just Trump's mind? Okay.
Open and transparent about it. Joe Biden never told us anything, and frankly, we're not even sure he knew who he's pardoning on any of those things.
One of the things,
as opposed to Trump, who literally doesn't know anything. I think there have been like 3 conservatives so far that I've debated that I think have admitted there's no possible way to know that Trump is even going senile. They've like chuckled along as I've said it, but there's really no way to know because he's always so fucking stupid. It's hard to tell, right? Chat, this is too high, right? Having major ping issues lately. Should I call ISP over this? The problem with some trace routes is that, like, when you're going from this IP to this IP, you understand it has to try every single IP address to look for an open port in between, right? So when you're going to 108.170.255.161 all the way up to 216, it has to try like 108 billion IPs before it can hit the next open route. So when you're trying to get like good routing, when people talk about like good routing for like preferential data lanes and stuff, like your tier 1 providers and everything, what they're talking about is they keep all the IP addresses like almost the same, like in the same, at least in the same like 100 billions category. This is why like your like the most important stuff on the internet are your DNS servers, your domain DNS servers, because what they do is they're all like 1.1.1 or like 8.8.8.8, right? Because they're really low, so they're really fast. This is why we never really made the jump over to IPv5, because I'm sorry, just ignore everything I'm just ignore everything. I'm sorry. I'm done trolling. Okay. Okay, where are we?
Fox News alert: Israel conducting an airstrike in Gaza overnight, saying that Hamas terrorists attacked Israeli troops on the ground there.
Israel is calling it.
Why did we never? I feel like IPv5 came out like fucking over a decade ago. Why did we never jump to that? Was there ever a plan to jump to that? Does any device use exclusively IPv5 or IPv6 isn't practical? Wait, why is IPv6 a thing? Wait, I don't even know what that is. Wait, when the normal like octet of triplet IP addresses, that's IPv3, right? Or 4, right? Wait, am I crazy? Hold on, I might be trolling here a little. Wait. Oh, am I talking about 6? Oh, maybe I'm talking about 6. Is there no 5? My bad. There is no 5. Okay. But I feel like the settings for 6 have existed for over a decade. But they skip odd numbers, so 6 is technically set. What? Is that true? A lot of mobile devices use IPv6. No, they have to use 4 as well, right? I think for like to be recognized by any DHCP, like anything that's like authorizing or rolling out like IP addresses, you can look on your phone and you can check your settings on your network stuff. Like you will have IPv4 addresses and stuff. I just don't know what the point of this ever was, or if it was ever going to be rolled out. How many addresses are there? 32-bit. How many, like was there ever an actual worry about running out of publicly registered IP addresses? All DHCP today can recognize IPv6. Yeah, but if they're still using dual IPv4 and 6, what the fuck is the point? IPv4 exhaustion was a concern. That's why 6 is now being used. The only thing saving IPv4 is NAT. But there are problems. What is NAT? Does that refer to like connecting to one IP and then that IP is like routing you into send in an internal network to like different resources, or? Yes. Okay. Yeah. Network address translation. Gotcha. Huh. Well. It's kind of hard to understand, but NAT lets you make a private network with ranges like 10.xxx and not let that conflict with internet space. Do you think I'm super internet retarded? Fuck you. I understand there are some local networks that where the IP range is like not like internet facing. What would you say? It's not like publicly accessible. So you can have local networks. Like my local IP address on this computer is probably the same as at least a couple other people's out there, but like we're on our own local network, so we don't have conflict. Name all the private network ranges now? I don't know. 255 seems like one. 168. 127. Probably, I don't know what else. I feel like anything below 20, like have I ever seen an IP address like 17 point, I don't know, maybe I have.
A bold violation of the new ceasefire.
What? I was told this was peace in the Middle East for the 5th time.
Fox News alert: Israel conducting an airstrike in Gaza overnight, saying that Hamas terrorists attacked Israeli troops on the ground there.
Israel is calling it a bold violation of the new ceasefire, putting the whole region on edge.
Trey Yingst is live in Tel Aviv with the very latest. Good morning, Trey. This is not good news.
Yeah, hey guys, good.
Wait, do you think they told him like, this is some serious shit, you need to put on your very serious face for this? It looks like he's a very serious face on.
In Tel Aviv with the very latest. Good morning, Trey.
Jesus.
This is not good news.
Yeah, hey guys, good morning. It's not good news. The Israeli military is currently striking the Gaza Strip. They say Hamas violated the ceasefire agreement. I spoke with one military official who said 2 separate attacks took place inside Israeli-controlled territory. One of them an RPG attack and the other a sniper attack conducted by Hamas. Most of the strikes this morning have taken place in the southern Gazan city of Rafah, but there is at least one report of a strike in the northern part of the enclave. This was a difficult moment for Israeli forces, having to make a decision about whether or not to start striking Gaza again. We also understand at this moment that there are warnings from the U.S. State Department against Hamas. Overnight, a statement was released by the U.S. State Department saying, quote, the United States has informed the guarantor nations of the Gaza peace agreement of credible reports indicating an imminent ceasefire violation by Hamas against the people of Gaza. And so we're looking at 2 separate things here. One, an attack by Hamas overnight on Israeli forces within the Gaza Strip. And 2, a warning from the U.S. State Department that Hamas is planning to target Palestinian civilians or the forces that are currently opposing their rule inside Gaza. All of this comes.
So Hamas gave back the hostages, then violated the agreement. So in the West, we have like okay, just internalize this, please, God, for me, okay? And just think about this when you're listening to news, okay? When it comes to the Middle East. In the West, we have formal militaries that have formal command structures that answer to like established governments and everything else, okay? So like generally speaking, if a United States soldier or plane or something, anything is like out doing something, then there's like an internal chain of command that's going through. It's probably like a U.S. action as the United States of America. In the Middle East, these groups are way more decentralized. And you might even have like splinter groups, up-splinter groups, or sometimes just rogue members of some of these groups. Right now I'm saying this without knowing. I don't know exactly what happened here because I haven't read into this, okay? But to say that like Hamas is attacking Israeli forces without more information, who knows what that means? It could be like a family that was attacking IDF forces. It could be a formal like is it Al-Qassam brigades was Hamas, right? Al-Quds brigade was Palestinian Islamic Jihad, I think. It could have been like a formal part of the old like Hamas military, maybe through some command structure. It could have been just a lone. It could have been a gang person because there's a lot of like gang violence, like random shit going on. Like who knows 100%, you know, what this is without more information. In the Middle East, a lot of these forces and groups are a lot more fractured, and people are keen or quick to ascribe blame to an entire group or entity, organization, or government. But that might not necessarily be what's going on. Just to keep that in mind.
Or the forces that are currently opposing their rule inside Gaza. All of this comes as Hamas released the bodies of 2 additional hostages overnight. We do know the name of one of those hostages from a kibbutz in the southern part of Israel. His name is Ronen Engel, and Israeli authorities released his name overnight after informing his family. This means that there are still 16 bodies belonging to.
Wait, are the Safdie brothers Jewish? What's the name of the Safdie brother in fuck, and it's in that one Nathan For You, not it was a show, TV show they did. What was it called? Fuck. Oh, The Curse. Do these guys look similar? Am I crazy? A little bit, right?
Hostages inside Gaza. Those bodies are supposed to be released by Hamas as part of this agreement, and they've been trickling out so far since the agreement went into place. But again, the latest information that we have right now, Israeli forces...
Wait, all the hostages have not been released yet? Or I thought all of them, I thought every single one had been... Oh, no, wait. He just said the bodies.
15 bodies
Sorry,
belonging to hostages inside Gaza. Those bodies are supposed to be released by...
Bodies belonging to hostages. The bodies of the... Okay.
Hamas as part of this agreement, and they've been trickling out so far since the agreement went into place. But again, the latest information that we have right now, Israeli forces are indeed striking the Gaza Strip. The military confirms to Fox News after they say Hamas violated the ceasefire agreement. Guys?
Trey, really quick. So when Hamas violated that agreement and those rockets were shot over to Israel, were there civilians there? And then on the Israeli side, in their retaliation, are there civilians involved in that as well?
So we understand that Hamas violated the agreement by firing across the yellow line. This is the line that divides the Gaza Strip, where Israeli forces are currently in control and where Hamas is still in control. And according to this military official that I talked to, there were two separate attacks. One was an RPG attack, and the other was a sniper attack targeting Israeli forces within Gaza. The Israelis still control about 53% of the Gaza Strip as part of phase 1 of this agreement. If the ceasefire moves forward, they will pull back. But this yellow line will continue to be something that we talk about. Over the weekend, a Palestinian family was killed after an Israeli tank fired on their vehicle. Now, the Israelis say that vehicle crossed the yellow line in violation of the ceasefire, and after warning shots were fired, they targeted the vehicle. And so this yellow line will continue to be a sticking point in the negotiations about where exactly the line is located. Of course, the Gaza Strip is around 30 miles long, and so it's very difficult to know the exact points along the enclave where Israeli forces are in control and where Hamas is in control. But the fact that Hamas has launched this blatant attack against Israeli forces is an indication that they are not adhering to the ceasefire agreement. To fire a rocket-propelled grenade and to conduct a sniper attack is a clear indication that Hamas still wants to fight inside Gaza. And Israeli forces have been very clear they will strike the Gaza Strip if Hamas violates the agreement. And already today, we understand, according to sources...
To be fair, they would have disposed of the bodies by now. I don't know if that's true. Israel halts aid to Gaza until further notice as renewed fighting tests ceasefire. This is today. Hamas, which continued to accuse Israel of multiple ceasefire violations, said communication with its remaining units in Rafah had been cut off for months and that we are not responsible for any incidents occurring in those areas. I don't even know what who the leadership of Hamas is right now. But I mean, this doesn't on its face sound impossible to me. Does Hamas just not want to lose power and reignite the war because they had to fight with other clans in Gaza and think this would reunite them? I think Hamas is fucked. I don't know. I don't even know what they could do. But I mean, at this point, like, Israel can force, my imagine for a while, I think Israel would have been able to force peace in the Gaza Strip. Like, I don't know why. I don't know. Netanyahu's just unhinged.
Sources in Jerusalem that Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is set to hold security consultations as a result of this Hamas ceasefire violation. and there could be further actions by the Israelis. And of course, we do expect more communication to.
Why did Hamas attack? We don't know if Hamas attacked or if it was just like a couple like shooters. Like we have no idea. I don't know. Is this like a Hamas ordered attack or is there just like a couple of people? Like I'm sure there's still a ton of people with weapons and shit, or factions or families or whatever.
Could be further actions by the Israelis. And of course, we do expect more communication to the intermediaries to try and get this back on track from a diplomatic angle. We know that Vice President J.D. Vance and also U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff are scheduled to visit Israel this week, and they're going to be discussing how to keep this ceasefire in place and ensure that it doesn't collapse.
So, Trey,
we don't know, but Israel does. Is Israel even making that claim that there was some coordinated leadership attack, or are they just saying Hamas because they got attacked?
let's step back for a second. Do we have any indication that something led up to this? Did we see this coming? And also, has Hamas officially said anything about why they're doing this?
If hostages are already illegal under the international law, why would they expect 100% of the bodies to return them? Well, I'm saying they could because they might keep them for negotiating tools or something, maybe. That's why I'm saying they wouldn't necessarily trash them. I'm not saying they keep them out of good faith or goodwill, but just, you know, you can keep bodies as hostages too, right?
They have not. They have talked on propaganda channels on Telegram and other messaging sites that they use to release propaganda, confirming that they are launching attacks against forces inside Gaza that oppose their rule. And we saw...
Why do you think Asmongold went pro-Israel recently? Is it just the MAGA tardism, just like he loved Iran strikes? Is he really pro-Israel now?
Last week, those horrific execution videos of Hamas killing civilians they claimed that stole aid or were working with the Israelis. As for the attacks on Israeli forces, this isn't surprising. In the past, when there have been ceasefires in place and agreements that were reached, not only during this war, but previous wars that we have covered, Hamas has violated the agreement because they want to continue the fight against Israel. And oftentimes they'll do it in these very small ways. During this war, but previous wars that we have covered, Hamas has violated the agreement because they want to continue the fight against Israel. And oftentimes they'll do it in these very small ways, single attacks here and there. But what the Israeli military wants to do is set a precedent, a red line. And so if any of these attacks happen, according to officials that we've spoken with, they will immediately respond because they want a level of deterrence. The issue here is if this spirals out of control and the ceasefire collapses, because Hamas understands they no longer have the leverage of living hostages, but they still do have the bodies of 16 others. Hamas has not ever acted in good faith when it comes to these negotiations, and they have often violated ceasefire agreements. And so this isn't a surprising moment. It's a moment that the Israeli military prepared for. There are contingency plans in place. There is still drone monitoring over the Gaza Strip and the ability for the Israeli Air Force to strike Gaza. But it is certainly concerning from a diplomatic level because the Trump administration wants this ceasefire to move forward. They want the war to be over. And it is very challenging with Hamas still in control of just under half of the Gaza Strip because they are now controlling the streets of Gaza.
I don't even know if that's true. To be fair, I've barely dipped my toes on this over the past few months, but I don't know if Hamas has been in control of the Gaza Strip for any amount of time in the past year. I feel like it's been chaos. It's been like Hamas groups or parts of Hamas have been in control of some parts, but a lot of it is just lawless, gang-ridden, things are just kind of fuck there. That's my impression.
Areas that they are still operating in. There are gunmen in the streets. They are executing their opponents. And as we saw early this morning, they are now launching new attacks on Israeli forces.
So, Trey, you've been covering this from the beginning, and you've been covering these conflicts for many years now. What is your sort of gut feeling? Does this feel like something that is about to completely unravel, or is there still some hope that this might be a skirmish and that they might get back to the original ceasefire?
So I can tell you what's happening behind the scenes right now. Not only Israeli officials, but likely American officials, Egyptian officials, and Qatari officials are speaking every hour to try to get this back on track. The challenging part here, having covered this region all the way back to the war in 2014, is that Hamas is an organization that's very challenging to control. They don't operate in the way that a normal state would operate, or even a paramilitary group. This is a terrorist organization. And so even if their officials in Qatar or in Turkey or even inside the Gaza Strip say they're willing to adhere to the ceasefire agreement, it's a splintered organization that is fighting with guerrilla tactics. And so they can easily launch attacks in different locations to try to pressure Israeli forces that are inside Gaza. And the fear here is that this unravels into a broader ceasefire violation by Hamas, and then the war resumes, and that there's pressure on the Israelis to basically continue the war. Remember, Hamas agreed to disarm. They agreed to lay down their weapons. And I asked President Trump about this in our interview last
Did
week,
they?
and he said he still expects Hamas to adhere to the agreement. The challenging part here is that they don't lay down their weapons, and they
part of the 20-point plan would have been, yeah, whatever that plan is, yeah.
continue to fire on Israeli forces inside Gaza. The war is going to resume. And so that's the negotiating part. That's what comes next. There will be consultations that take place not only today, but into next week with Egyptian and Qatari officials to try to send a message to Hamas that's very simple. The war will resume if you don't lay down your weapons and stop these attacks on Israeli forces. They still do have a small arsenal of weapons inside Gaza, and as they've shown today, they're willing to use them.
Yeah. Really a fragile situation with a lot of breaking news at this hour. Trey Yingst, thanks for getting up for us. Please keep us posted. We will bring you back as news warrants. Trey Yingst live in Tel Aviv.
Thanks, Trey.
Thanks, Trey.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here.
Was Hamas agreeing or agreeing to agree in the future? I mean, they've got like a framework thing that they're moving through, whatever that means, yeah. Once the ceasefire entered into force, Hamas quickly took power again in various regions, even winning a few fights with some families and bringing them to their knees, joining Hamas by lack of choice, as well as creating a new policing force of close to 7,000 Hamas soldiers, I think, making sure they're taking back their parts of the strip. That's the short part of it. Thank you, Twigs from DGG Chat. They just need to bring cell phones to the Gaza Strip and then sports gambling. And they can all get addicted to that and be chill. Did you see the latest West Bank memes from today? Is this going to be bloody? It says, "This is what happened when I reached the car. The elderly woman clubbed by the settler is in critical condition." Oh. October 19th, 2025, settler attack on first day of olive harvest in Termusaya. Israeli soldiers led us directly into ambush. Uh-oh. Contact Jasper Nathaniel for more information. Base. For safety purposes, all the local farmers gather to head out to fields in one caravan. Oh, it almost looks like he's a huge sniper rifle, but he's just got something tied to the rack of his car here. Settler with a gun blocks the road with several other settlers behind. Caravan turns around to try another route.
That's it?
You can't get through. He has a gun.
He has a gun?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't. Where's the gun?
In his right hand.
Oh, yeah. That's a gun, all right.
The other route is successful. Farmers and workers disperse to their own plots of land. Different kind of surprise here. Why are they fighting over farmland? Like, who owns it? I don't know if they're fighting over farmland. So after October 7th, I think there were about 140 like random checkpoints that are just like set up throughout the West Bank that you have to drive through. Sometimes there are soldiers there from the IDF. Sometimes they're unmanned, so you have to drive around because they're closed off. Other times, the people that live, remember, so there's like two different types of settlers in Israel, okay? You have, after the, I'm drawing this country and it's going to be horrible. I don't give a fuck. And then your Negev? Yeah, you know. Okay. Close enough. This is Jerusalem. After the war in 48, remember, nobody ever actually declared that there were an end to any war. Well, I guess technically Jordan and Egypt have now. But there was this thing here. This is called the Green Line. When people talk about the Green Line, this was the armistice line that was drawn between Israel and Jordan after the war. Okay? And then, so this is in 48. And then in 67, obviously Israel took the West Bank. Also the Gaza Strip and the Golan Heights, but we don't care about that. When you talk about how there's like 700,000 settlers, I think, is that how many there are in the West Bank now? 700,000 settlers. The vast majority of settlers live in settlements that are right next to the Green Line, okay? So that means that they're like extending a little bit past here. Now, regardless of how you feel about international law or the war or whatever the fuck, like these are generally like normal-ish people. The property is very cheap, so they can move to Israel. They can move in here. It's nowhere near as expensive as like I think Tel Aviv is somewhere over here. Other cities, these places are going to be way cheaper. Yeah, that's it. It's just cheap place to live, and they're not like out here to go and fight with Palestinians and rough them up. But then you also have settlements that are like way out here. Your deep settlements, your cringe, weird settlements. And the guys that live out here are crazy. Okay? These guys are always weird and crazy. These people are living in settlements along the Green Line. These people are living in the historic lands of Judea and Samaria. Okay? Anytime you see these guys with the huge beards or whatever, these are not, that's not true. I'm sorry, I'm almost stereotyped. But my guess is these are probably people that are part of deep settlements. Sometimes I think they just walk out with rifles because they just want to show that they've got like big dicks or whatever, or their sisters might be tired from getting fucked all the time. But they come out here and they just like patrol around and they tell people they're not allowed to drive on certain streets or whatever. We ran into a few of these fucking people. They're just weird.
Oh yeah, that's a gun, all right.
The other route is successful. Farmers and workers disperse to their own plots of land. Different kind of surprise here. Okay.
Oh.
Oh no. Uh-oh. Okay.
Not the settlers I was expecting.
Is this guy American? The farmer I'm with, Yasser Al-Kem, an American lawyer, finds that his trees are barren, so we decide to leave. Wild boars are dangerous as fuck. Well, the danger here, I don't know how true this is because I'm just like stuff I've heard and everything, and it's harder obviously to know 100% what's true or not. The memes that I've heard are that sometimes, oops, like a settler might accidentally let an animal loose or an animal go somewhere and they're like, oh no, he escaped into a Palestinian village and now I have to go round up my friends and go and get my animal back and we might have to beat the shit out of a bunch of Palestinians to get to him, like dumb memes like this. I don't know if that's part of that or what that was or who knows. Settlers are waiting at the top of the hill we came from, so we try to exit through the other side. Soldiers are waiting at top of the hill.
Looks like there's an army jeep. And mean, it's probably a safer bet than the settlers.
That's what I'm trying.
My understanding is that if the IDF is there, generally speaking, my understanding is that the IDF and these like deep settler places are not usually on good terms. That the settlers don't like, well, the deep settlers don't like the IDF either. That if the IDF is out here, it's because they're trying to prevent shit from going down between those settlers and any Palestinians. Because if they're getting called or if shit's going down, there's always going to be international bullshit. It's just always bad for them.
Figure out.
So when this guy says the IDF probably better than settlers, because chances are, especially if these guys are American, although I'm sure they got actual Arabs, Palestinians with them, but like the settlers here, if they see like these guys, they're probably going to just get the fuck out or go home or get out of here or whatever. You can angle this as though they're depriving them of their land or freedom or whatever, but I think the IDF is just trying to minimize contact between some of these more extreme people on either side.
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
I get out of the car and walk with my hands up to talk to soldiers. They point their guns and question me. I tell them I'm an American and we are just trying to drive back into town, but they are settlers. They're settlers blocking us. They say they'll let us drive through. Phone in my pocket. Can't the IDF police their unhinged Jews? They kind of can, but it's hard because like there's like a divide in Israel over how they feel about them, because some people in Israel support them, some people don't, and it's a very political, weird thing.
Do you speak English? We just need help getting out because the settlers over there are blocking us. And this is the only other way.
Where you want to go?
Just back to Termasaya. Back to the village, that's it. Yeah, just want to go home. No, I live in America, I'm visiting.
I don't know where Termasaya is or whatever, but if the IDF thinks that you don't belong there, then they'll tell you to get the fuck out. Like they'll send you back to Israel. It's like you need to leave, because what happens is they're worried that if you're an American, this is what I'm told, maybe this is IDF bias, but they're worried like if you're an American, this is why we got kicked out of Nablus, most likely, even though we had a cow that showed up like 2 seconds later. They're worried that if you're an American, you're going to get into some dumb shit and you're going to get to places you're not supposed to be, and then you're going to get in trouble, and then the IDF's going to have to go into some village, and there's always like this issue concern for these huge incidents that are always going to blow up internationally. I don't know why this guy is speaking and he doesn't have any of the other Arab Palestinians, whoever with him. Because, yeah, 2 Americans. Does anybody know? Can somebody give me a map where this is? And I can have a better idea. Termers. Okay, so we're pretty deep in. I wouldn't be able to tell you. No, actually, I would be able to tell you maybe. I'm pretty sure, like, because Israelis like to live on tops of hills so they can look down at their oppressed. Yeshuv is always going to be Jewish shit, I think, right? So, like, Shiloh sounds pretty Jewish, right? It looks like this is like a place on the top of a hill, right? This is probably like a settlement. Some of these might be the settlers involved. I don't know how inbred these people are. Givat, that sounds like a Jewish word. Looks nice. They'll also have like these huge gates outside as well for protection. It wouldn't be that far away. But like, can I find any of these? And before I can't. Here, maybe? Like, you can't just drive into any of these settlements. There's always going to be these gates with an armed security guard outside.
Family here? No. I'm here for the olives.
Okay, you have passport?
In the car. Bring it.
Why do they live like this? Those deep settlers, because they think they have a religious right to the land and they're trying to like repopulate it and resettle it. And they know that the more of them that live out there, the more the stronger the claim their people have to it and the more expansion they can do in the future. And it's probably cheaper as well, even than living in Israel proper. But they're like on a mission. They've got like a life purpose. The same reason why people join ISIS from Europe.
Passport? Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
I walk back to the car and we drive up. I'm assuming the soldiers said they would make the settlers leave. Instead, as soon as we pull up the car, the soldiers speed away and leave us with 2 settlers on an ATV, including one with a gun. There are also a few other farmers with a car with a smashed windshield. I wonder if he'll show that. I don't believe this. I feel like if the IDF has been called out somewhere, especially because this guy is speaking very American English, I find it hard to believe that the IDF would just leave him out here because they know it's going to be trouble, would be my guess. I don't know.
Oh, there's the settlers that they're protecting.
I wonder if they drove back over or drove back out or something.
Oh, you're going to move them? Yes. Oh, thank you.
Oh, no, that's the IDF still, I think. We all get in our cars and we get driving off, but the smashed car gets stuck, so I get out to try to help. The settlers appear to have left.
You push? Push?
Well, push, wait.
You push?
Bruh. Oh, no, wait, that's just stuck. I thought this was flat. The dirt is like playing a trick on my mind. Never mind. Then 15 to 20 settlers appear out of nowhere and begin hurling huge stones and chasing us with clubs. Everybody starts running. That tire is fucked? Oh, is it? I thought maybe it was just buried in the dirt a little. Like, this road looks like it's right next to a settlement, right? All these high gates and everything. They said they wanted to go back here. I don't know realistically where they're at. This whole area looks like an Arab Palestinian place, right? Like including Sinjil, do you think? I don't know where they're at or where they're coming from, so it's hard to say. Yes, okay. But I don't know where this looks like they're right next to a settlement. That would be my guess here. So I don't know what they're doing or what led to this or how they got here.
Hey, press! Press! American press! American press!
Like, I don't know what this, I don't want to do the whole Pallywood thing, but like I don't know what's happening here. If they're this deep in, it's probably going to be a very, very far run to get anywhere. You're literally running right alongside a settlement here. Like, who are you running from? Where are you running to? I don't know what's happening here. Seems...
American press! American press!
Also, if you're out here in these settlements and you're talking to like deep settlers, if you're an American, they fucking hate you. Okay, they do not give a fuck about you because they think you're either some weirdo journalist or you're some fucking Greenpeace, bleeding heart. They do not like you. Sirens out here don't necessarily mean IDF. I think sirens out here can be local settler police forces, which are also definitely not your friend.
Press!
30% of them would be Americans themselves, though, LOL. I think it depends on the settlement, Twigs. We went to one near Haran where that Yishai Flesher guy lives. I don't know the name of that settlement. They had Americans there, but some of these, I think, are heavily Jewish, Israeli, not necessarily American. But it definitely depends on the settlement. In Shiloh, they are? Okay. I don't know. Okay, he has a truck in front of him. get back into Yasser's car, but the settlers are immediately behind me, and there's a line of cars trying to escape so we can't move. Settlers smash through our rear windshield with clubs and stones.
Hey, what are we? Right behind us.
Nice interior, bro.
Oh, he's right here. He's right about to smash your window. Here he is. Here he is. Get ready. Yeah, there it is.
The guy following him speaks Arabic, no? Which guy? These guys, I don't know if the American guy does. The other Palestinian Arabs here might speak Arabic. I don't think many of them will speak that much Hebrew. I don't think it's that common that there's like a lot of language crossover. I don't know why. That's my impression. Like if you're, I think if you're one of the Arabs living in Israel proper, I think most of them might speak Hebrew. But most Israelis and most Jewish people in the Middle East absolutely do not speak Arabic. So if you want to communicate with a Jew, you're either going to have to do it with English, with Hebrew, or with sticks and stones or guns.
Are the doors locked? Oh, fuck.
We start moving very slowly. Main settler with the club runs past us with other settlers behind, still throwing stones and beating cars with clubs. We see a woman ahead of us who has been working on an olive tree, and the settler attacks her. His first hit with the club knocked her unconscious. Then he hit her one or two more times with the club when she was on the ground.
You got it. Oh, come on. Don't fucking hit her! Hey! Oh my God. Hey! Hey! Hey!
I heard in Arabic, "Get back here, you bitch." Okay. They might know a little bit. But I think in general, I don't think that most Jewish people speak Arabic in Israel, the Gaza Strip. Well, they're not in the Gaza Strip now. Well, there's a lot on the Gaza Strip now. In Israel or the West Bank in general. Same settler with clubs starts attacking activists who had been providing protective presence, injuring at least 2 of them.
Holy shit.
I don't know whose trees these are. If we're near Shiloh, like you don't think they were trying to pick you don't think they were trying to pick their trees, right? Like go in and pick the Jew trees to make a point or something? Or maybe they're closer to where they need to go. They said they were going to Termus. I don't know. I have no idea. It could be anything. I really have no clue. Maybe they're along this road. Who knows?
Holy shit. Hey! Oh no.
I think this guy's just like, bro, they can't hear you. Your window's up still.
Hey, get in! Get in! Get in!
They can't hit you if you're in the car. Are these guys American?
Get in! Get in! Get in!
Settler attacks our car again.
They're still right here. Oh, watch out! Watch out! Watch out! Where are they? They're right behind us.
All right, let somebody else into car and get out to check on women. Settlers are still attacking with stones.
I'm gonna get out here. No. Somebody needs to document this. Let her in. You get in. You get in.
Why is it so heavily edited? Can't we get a full video? The editing's very suspicious. My guess is they probably provoked the settlers. It's just everybody being shitty. I mean, like, it's a shitty situation for the people in the West Bank to live in, but and settlers are like rabid dogs. They're very easy to provoke, which they shouldn't be, but. I'd be surprised if there was like a full video of this. It'd be interesting, but because he has it, obviously, right? He's recording the whole time. Settlers torch a car and disperse.
The soldiers set us up for this attack. They set everybody up to get attacked. We're blocked on one side, getting out by settlers.
I seriously doubt that.
With guns.
Because if the settlers, if the IDF is out here, they just want everybody to fuck off because they're tired of like all this stupid shit, generally speaking. But I don't know what happened in between them talking to the IDF and them being in this situation. I don't know if the IDF led them out and they went back, or if the IDF just fucked off because they didn't hear. I don't know.
We're blocked on one side, getting out by settlers with guns. There's one other way to get out. There's
Is that a rifle shot? Does he not care? Am I crazy?
Side, getting out by settlers with guns. There's one other way to get out. There's soldiers at the top. I got out to talk to them.
Okay.
And they said, yes, come up, come up. So we started going up. There were two settlers up there and a car whose windshield they had already busted. And then as soon as we got there, soldiers jetted off in their Jeep, left us alone with the settlers.
Okay. Jesus. The U.S. Embassy said that no, they cannot protect me. We need American protection. We are Americans. I'm an American tourist. Can you protect me? Oh, sorry, fuck. Listen, I hate these settlers, okay? And I hate Israel. Fuck this whole country right now, okay? I hate them all, okay? But this guy, this is a pro Pallywood operator. I don't believe anything in this video. My guess is they probably provoked the fuck out of the settlers, which they shouldn't. The settlers shouldn't respond because these settlers are easy to provoke. They're unhinged and they're crazy out here. They are. But like, if this guy is literally spamming the U.S. Embassy for protection, even the IDF doesn't like to go that deep into the West Bank. Why the fuck are you sending text begging for U.S. troops to go out here? You're fucking retarded. This is crazy fucking retarded. This is retarded. This is stupid. But this is also why the IDF just kicks all these people out, because they're like, we know you're just here to steer shit up. Like, this is literally the goal. And his messages are like super retarded as well. We need American protection. It's funny because the Pallywood guy here in this text is actually acting like the deranged settlers act when they invade Palestinian like Area A or places that where Palestinians are living in B, or I don't think they actually are living in any Area C areas. But like a settler will go out, and then when they get into trouble, they'll, make calls. IDF, we need you to come and save us. Can you please come bail us out? Please, we're trapped in Ramallah. We're stuck on a roof. Please, we're getting bullied. Please come help us. This guy's trying to do the same thing. Unfortunately, no. The protection of American citizens is always the responsibility of the host nation government, which is why we pull our embassies out of places they can't host nation, or that the host nation can't or won't protect them. Syria. I don't know. Are you implying that the Israeli government will protect me and the other Americans here? I don't understand. The IDF led us directly into an ambush. Do you know the real reasons why no one wants to work with Mizkiv anymore? Does it have anything to do with Emiru? I have no idea. I don't know anything about any of that drama there.
Here, what are we? Right behind.
Are those texts fake? There's no shot the embassy is bolding the word supposed in that last message. I don't know. Is this WhatsApp? That's what everybody in Israel uses. Maybe it auto bolds it. Maybe he bolded it. I don't fucking know, dude.
Here, what are we? Right behind us. Oh, he's right here. He's right. Let's smash him. Here he is. Here he is. Get ready. Yeah, there's
Oh, this is already part of the other watch. Okay. What a meme. Isn't he the supposed message responding to his question, not the ambushed part? What? Yeah, of course. Why? No, if you read it differently, you're retarded. The IDF led us directly into an ambush. That's what's supposed to happen, yes. No, that's not who he's responding to. He's saying that, are you implying that the Israeli government will protect me and the other Americans here? That's what's supposed to happen, yes. That's what this is in response to. Right? If you read this as responding to the last message, you're just retarded. Oh my God. The pivot between we don't have embassies in countries where we can't keep you safe, and that's what's supposed to happen in response to being led into an ambush by and in the host country is we need to... Jesus Christ.